It is not acceptable to run a 3-wire without a grounding wire circuit to a detached garage, even if a grounding rod is installed at the detached garage panel. The National Electrical Code (NEC) mandates a grounding wire for providing a safe path for fault currents, which is crucial for preventing electrical shocks. In the specific context of a detached garage, relying solely on a grounding rod at the detached garage panel will not ensure adequate protection for the electrical circuits. This is because the grounding rod is not connected to the main service panel's grounding system. Such a configuration can introduce a potentially hazardous situation in the event of a fault occurring within the electrical circuit. The grounding system serves several vital functions in an electrical installation. Firstly, it provides a low impedance path for fault currents to return to the source. This allows overcurrent protection devices such as circuit breakers or fuses to quickly trip and disconnect the circuit, minimizing the risk of electrical shock or fire. Secondly, the grounding system helps to stabilize the voltage to ground, reducing the potential for voltage fluctuations and improving the overall performance and reliability of electrical equipment. Thirdly, it provides a reference point for electrical measurements, ensuring accurate readings and proper operation of electronic devices. The NEC specifies detailed requirements for grounding and bonding to ensure the safety and effectiveness of electrical installations. These requirements cover various aspects, including the size and type of grounding conductors, the methods for connecting grounding electrodes, and the bonding of metallic enclosures and equipment. The NEC Section 250 covers the requirements for grounding and bonding. Section 250.4 outlines the general requirements for grounding and bonding. Section 250.32 specifically addresses grounding requirements for detached buildings or structures. This section requires that the grounding electrode system at the detached building be connected to the grounding electrode system at the main service panel. This connection can be made using a grounding electrode conductor (GEC) run with the circuit conductors or by bonding the grounding electrode system at the detached building to the grounded conductor of the circuit. There are several types of grounding electrodes that are permitted by the NEC, including metal underground water pipes, metal frames of buildings or structures, concrete encased electrodes, and ground rods or pipes. The choice of grounding electrode will depend on the specific site conditions and the availability of suitable electrodes. Ground rods must be at least 8 feet long and must be driven into the ground so that at least 8 feet of the rod is in contact with the earth. The NEC also specifies the minimum size of the grounding electrode conductor that must be used to connect the grounding electrode to the grounding system. The size of the grounding electrode conductor is based on the size of the service entrance conductors or the size of the ungrounded conductors of the feeder or branch circuit. In addition to grounding electrodes, bonding is also an important aspect of the grounding system. Bonding is the process of connecting metallic enclosures, equipment, and other conductive parts to create an electrically conductive path. This path helps to equalize the voltage potential between these parts, reducing the risk of electrical shock. The NEC requires that all metallic enclosures and equipment that are likely to become energized be bonded to the grounding system. This includes items such as metal conduit, metal boxes, metal enclosures for electrical equipment, and metal frames of appliances. Bonding conductors must be sized according to the requirements of the NEC and must be securely connected to the parts being bonded. In the case of a detached garage, it is important to ensure that the grounding system is properly installed and maintained. This includes ensuring that the grounding electrode system is properly connected to the grounding electrode system at the main service panel and that all metallic enclosures and equipment are properly bonded to the grounding system. It is also important to periodically inspect the grounding system to ensure that it is in good condition and that all connections are tight and secure. If the grounding system is not properly installed or maintained, it can increase the risk of electrical shock or fire. A 3-wire circuit without a grounding wire relies on the neutral conductor to carry fault current back to the source. However, this can create a dangerous situation if the neutral conductor becomes disconnected or if there is a fault on the neutral conductor. In these cases, the fault current may not be able to return to the source, and the voltage on the metallic enclosures and equipment can rise to dangerous levels. This can result in an electrical shock if someone comes into contact with the energized enclosure or equipment. A grounding wire provides a dedicated path for fault current to return to the source, independent of the neutral conductor. This ensures that fault current will always be able to return to the source, even if the neutral conductor becomes disconnected or if there is a fault in the neutral conductor. This reduces the risk of electrical shock and helps to protect people and property from electrical hazards. It's critical to understand the difference between grounding and bonding. Grounding connects the electrical system to the earth, providing a path for fault currents to flow back to the source. Bonding, on the other hand, connects metallic parts of the electrical system together to create a low impedance path for fault currents. Both grounding and bonding are essential for electrical safety. The specific requirements for grounding and bonding in a detached garage will depend on the size and type of the electrical installation. However, the general principles of grounding and bonding remain the same. It is always recommended to consult with a qualified electrician to ensure that the electrical installation in a detached garage is safe and compliant with the NEC. An electrician can assess the specific site conditions and determine the appropriate grounding and bonding methods for the installation. They can also ensure that the grounding system is properly installed and maintained. Here is a breakdown of why grounding rod alone isn't sufficient. Firstly, impedance. Ground rods have a relatively high impedance compared to a properly installed grounding conductor that runs back to the main panel. This higher impedance limits the amount of fault current that can flow, which can delay or prevent the overcurrent protection device, such as a circuit breaker, from tripping. Secondly, voltage rise. During a fault, the voltage on the ground rod can rise significantly relative to the surrounding earth. This can create a shock hazard for anyone who comes into contact with the earth near the ground rod. Thirdly, coordination. The grounding rod at the detached garage is not coordinated with the grounding system at the main service panel. This can create a difference in potential between the two grounding systems, which can lead to circulating currents and other problems. The proper way to ground a detached garage is to run a 4-wire circuit from the main service panel to the detached garage. This circuit should include 2 hot wires, a neutral wire, and a grounding wire. The grounding wire should be connected to the grounding electrode system at the detached garage, which should include a ground rod or other approved grounding electrode. The grounding wire should also be connected to the grounding bus in the detached garage panel. This ensures that all metallic enclosures and equipment in the detached garage are properly grounded. In addition to running a 4-wire circuit, it is also important to properly bond all metallic parts of the electrical system in the detached garage. This includes bonding the metal conduit, metal boxes, metal enclosures for electrical equipment, and metal frames of appliances. Bonding helps to equalize the voltage potential between these parts, reducing the risk of electrical shock. It is also important to ensure that the grounding system is properly maintained. This includes periodically inspecting the grounding system to ensure that all connections are tight and secure. It is also important to protect the grounding rod from damage. If the grounding rod is damaged, it may not be able to provide adequate grounding protection. If you are not comfortable working with electricity, it is always best to hire a qualified electrician to install or repair the electrical system in a detached garage. An electrician has the knowledge and experience to ensure that the electrical installation is safe and compliant with the NEC. Failure to comply with the NEC can result in fines, penalties, and other legal consequences. It can also put people and property at risk of electrical shock or fire. Here are some additional details to consider. The size of the grounding wire is determined by the size of the ungrounded conductors in the circuit. The NEC Table 250.122 provides the minimum size of the grounding wire for various sizes of ungrounded conductors. The grounding wire must be installed in the same raceway or cable as the circuit conductors. This ensures that the grounding wire is protected from damage and that it provides a low impedance path for fault current. The grounding electrode system at the detached garage must be installed in accordance with the requirements of NEC Section 250.50. This section specifies the types of grounding electrodes that are permitted and the methods for installing them. The grounding electrode conductor must be connected to the grounding electrode using an approved connector. The connector must be listed for use with the type of grounding electrode being used. The grounding electrode conductor must be protected from damage. If the grounding electrode conductor is exposed to physical damage, it must be protected by conduit or other approved means. The grounding system should be inspected periodically to ensure that it is in good condition. The inspection should include checking the tightness of all connections and looking for any signs of damage or corrosion. If any problems are found, they should be corrected immediately. It is important to understand that the information provided here is for general guidance only and should not be considered a substitute for professional advice. Always consult with a qualified electrician to ensure that the electrical installation in a detached garage is safe and compliant with the NEC. Electrical work can be dangerous, and it is important to take all necessary precautions to protect yourself and others from electrical hazards. If you are not comfortable working with electricity, it is always best to hire a qualified electrician to do the work. Remember to always disconnect the power before working on any electrical circuits. Use insulated tools and wear appropriate personal protective equipment, such as rubber gloves and safety glasses. If you are unsure about anything, consult with a qualified electrician. Running a 3-wire circuit to a detached garage without a grounding wire is a serious safety hazard. It is important to follow the requirements of the NEC and to ensure that the electrical installation in a detached garage is properly grounded and bonded. By taking these precautions, you can help to protect people and property from electrical hazards. Ignoring these regulations and best practices can create scenarios where metallic parts of appliances or the garage structure itself become energized during a fault, posing a significant shock hazard. The path of least resistance for fault current must be assured, and the absence of a dedicated grounding conductor undermines this critical safety mechanism. Moreover, potential differences between the grounding system at the main panel and the grounding rod at the detached garage can lead to undesirable circulating currents, potentially damaging equipment and increasing the risk of electrical problems over time. In summary, adherence to the NEC and proper grounding and bonding techniques are paramount for ensuring the safety and reliability of electrical systems in detached garages. A 4-wire system with a dedicated grounding conductor is the only acceptable method,